and happy hump day. Whoop, whoop. So glad it's so close to the weekend. This week actually has gone really fast. I don't know about if it's gone fast for everyone else, but it has really gone by really fast for me. So I completely forgot to put my post on that I was going live for Hump Day Lunch Break, but I do every week, so hopefully you're all finding me. And I just want to go ahead and just share this really quick. And where's my share? Okay. Share. There we go, to a group. All right, so if you're watching, please tell me what you're doing for lunch, if you're having a little bit of a snack, and what you're all up to, if you have any big plans for the weekend. Okay, there we go. I just need to get my feed going now to make sure I can see everything. Here we go. I'm going to make sure I make this large so I can see my comments. All right. So we're going to get started with an adorable card today. I can't wait to share this with you. As soon as I thought of it, I'm like, oh, this is so stinking cute. I just couldn't wait. So we're going to actually be using our Sending Love stamp set and the dies that coordinate with this. I know you're thinking it's Valentine's. Why would you use a Valentine's set for Christmas? Well, because you can. And I'm going to show you a really cute way. I'm pulling in my Winter Meadows Designer Series paper. This is still available. And as you can see, I've been using it quite a bit. And this is actually the paper that we use for our sophisticated sled class on Monday. If you missed that, make sure you go back. I also have uploaded it to YouTube, so it's available out there. Just go to My Stamp Studio and look for the sophisticated sled. You'll be able to see it. But let's get started on this card because it is lunch break and we need to get some things going. So I have a piece of, and I'm not going to show you everything because it's going to be a surprise. I have a piece of thick white cardstock. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Misty Moonlight. This is 5 by 5 1/4 by 4. All right. I then brought in, like I said, my Designer Series paper. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now, I'm not going to have time to write everything up tonight. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. I've got plans for this evening, so I won't be able to write it up. I then have another piece of my Winter Meadows Designer Series paper, and this piece measures 3 1/4 inches by 4 inches. All right. So we're going to be layering that all together. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and just layer this now. And hopefully did I fix I had to do surgery on this seal. I don't think I fixed it. Hold on. Let me get it out and fix it here. So it had a little issue. Just need to advance it a little bit here. Okay. Oh, it's not. Something happened where it got stuck, so I'm going to have to go back, and it got stuck upon itself. So I need to figure that out. Okay, I'm just going to get a refill. We'll figure that one out later. I didn't realize I was out before I started the video. It's a good thing I know someone. Oh, I have maybe a little bit left. We'll see. Maybe we'll have enough to finish the card. I don't think so. All right. So I'm taking my Designer Series paper. I'm putting it right on my cardstock. It's such a stinking cute card. Let me know in the comments what you think of this card. If you're watching the replay, just give me a little love and let me know that you're there. And I can't get over this card. And I love, love, love that I can use a different stamp set for Christmas. You know, like I said, this one is really more for, I don't know, just kind of every occasion. And Valentine's, I love when I can come up with it for a different way. You can actually even do a sled right next to your little mailbox, but that's not what we're doing. We're going to be doing something different. Okay, I'm just going to lay this here for right now. I'm not going to adhere it on because there are some steps that I need to do. So one of the things I have here is I have a piece of the glimmer paper, and this comes from our Berry Burst Old Olive White Glimmer Specialty Paper. All right, that ID is 163769. I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see it. All right. But you get 12 by 12 sheets. There's one sheet each of the Berry Burst, the Old Olive, and the white. As you can see, I've been using my white quite a bit here. So I've cut this piece down to like 4 by 4. It doesn't have to necessarily be that set of a piece. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be punching 2 3/4 inch circles and 1 circle that is 1 1/4. I then just took a 1 1/2 inch strip and I ran it through my die cut machine, so I have a little puff of snow. So again, this is using our dies. So right here, this was kind of like for a grass or a bush or something. I decided it would make a great snow mound. So I've done that. I will need this out because we'll be die cutting that. And let's get started on some of the other things. Okay, these are, I'll show you all the different things I've die cut as we go. Okay, first thing is I'm going to go ahead and stamp an envelope. I have a scrap piece of paper. Sorry, I already stamped this. I was going to actually color it in before the video, and I didn't. So we'll just do it now. I'm taking my Misty Moonlight stamp pad, and I'm just going to stamp an envelope right here. All right, I'm going to be die cutting all this out, so it doesn't matter that it's there. I then took my mailbox stamp from the stamp set. I inked it with Memento Black, and then obviously stamped it on my white cardstock. This is just a scrap of white cardstock. I'm going to take my blends, and I'm using my Smoky Slate and my Pecan Pie, light and dark. And then I'm also going to pull in my Real Red. And that's light. I want the dark Real Red. I want the one that's going to look like red. And this is so I can color in that little flag. So let's get started on coloring this in. So I'm going to take my light pecan here. Make sure that was closed. And I'm just going to color that. Oh, this is my bad one. Hold on. Not bad one, but well used and sometimes is not easy to use that brush on. I'm using the brush side here because this way I can get it all done at the same time and some bigger strokes. I'm just being careful around those edges. I'm just come right down just like that. I'm going to go all the way to that grass. I'm not going to worry about the grass and what color it is because we're not going to be using it. All right. I'm just going to leave it in the black. And then I'm going to just come up and do my rest of my, I don't know, what do you call it, mailbox stand. I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to come back in with my dark in just a minute. All right, so I've got that. Now we're going to bring in our dark pecan pie. And this time I'm going to use my chisel side. I just want to be a little more detailed with it. So I'm going to add some depth to really kind of make this seem like it's 3D. And I'm actually, I don't think I'm even going to use dimensionals today. So we'll see. I may change my mind because you know what? I always do that at the last minute. All right, and I'm just coming into areas that would seem like a little darker. So like it would be shaded, you know, with the shadows and everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and go all the way down here. And just be a little more careful around those edges. All right, so there we go. And I want to do this a little darker. So we'll just put another layer on there. There we go. Okay. So we've got that part done. We're going to come in with our Smoky Slate. Again, this is my light Smoky Slate. I'm using my brush side because I'm going to do a large area all at one time. I am going to come back with my dark and add a bit of shading with my dark. I like to turn my cardstock when I'm coloring. Just makes it easier on myself. All right, we'll get over here, over here. So I'm just really coloring the whole thing in the light, and then I'll come back and add my shading. All right, so there we go. Now I've got my dark here, and I am going to go around my edges first. I'm going to go on the inside there of my mailbox, and around this little lip of my mailbox. There we go. And I'll add a little bit of depth here. So it kind of looks like you're looking inside the mailbox, right? Now I'm also going to add a little bit of shading over here. All right, and we can add just a little right around there. All right, now I'm going to come back in with my light, and we'll go ahead and we'll just do that chisel side, just because I don't want to accidentally color something I didn't intend. All right, so I'm just coloring that in, kind of blending that a little bit more so there's not such a contrast. I want it to be kind of gently shadowed. And then on here, I'm pulling that dark into my lighter area, just like that. And we're just going to leave it just like that. All right, now we'll take our real red here, and I'm just going to color in this whole flag. I don't know, I always feel like the flags in a mailbox are red. Okay. All right, there we go. We're going to run this through the die cut machine, and we will have our pieces that we need for that. So my magic, we have it already done. All right, the next piece that we need to die cut is going to be our little, and where did I put it? Well, hopefully I put it back in its case. Our little flag. So we used our large die cut to cut our mailbox out. So I'm going to put that here for right now. And then I actually die cut the little flag from a piece of pecan pie. And I actually cut 2 of them. So 1, 2. We're going to need those. All right. Put that back. Now let's bring in all of our little pieces here. So we've got that, this. All right, here we go. So now watch. This is going to be adorable. I'm going to lay it out here. I am going to put it on my card front in just a moment or two. But for at the moment, I just want to lay it out. You know what? We could lay it out there. I just want to lay it out. I'm not adhering anything yet. So because I want to see about where that should be. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stack my snowman here. Isn't this starting to look adorable? Wait, it gets better. All right, so we got our little snowman here. We have our little snowbank. All right, so that's going to be straightened out. Now, I'm just going to tuck this in for right now, and I'll come back to this. I'm going to actually put my flag end underneath. Okay, it gives him a nice long arm. I can hide that or trim that. So when we get to assemble it, we'll actually trim it down. And I'm going to put my envelope right here. So it looks like he's getting an envelope out of the mailbox. And then this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to cut this little end off and put it here. All right, so you have a little snowman there. And then we'll do his little face. So let's get started on some of this. I know that this is going to go there, so let's put this on. Oh, I didn't do that very straight, did I? Good thing I didn't press down too hard. All right. Now it's not quite even. There's a little bit more space at the bottom than at the top. That's fine. I kind of need that because I'm going to be putting everything there. So we'll go ahead and just put some seal on this. Put this right on the edge. Right about there. I just want to make sure I have enough room for my snowman. We'll go ahead. I'm going to use liquid glue for this part. That way I know that's going to stay. So I'll take this. Ooh, that was a little bit more liquid glue than I needed. Hold please while I get that wiped off onto a piece of scrap paper. All right. I can add just a little more over here. All right. There we go. So I'm just going to cover that right there. And it doesn't matter if a little piece or two sticks out. It's not a big deal. Because you know what? We do see stuff stick out of snow all the time. So, all right. So there we go. Now, I'm going to kind of layer my snowman right here on my workspace before I actually put it on. Now, I do need to use liquid glue. And had I thought of it, I would have had my silicone mat right here. And I don't. I used it the other day and didn't put it back in its home, so I don't know where it went. So we'll just have to, I'm just looking, oh, here it is. There we go. I like using my silicone mat, that way I don't make a mess on my work surface. So I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue onto the bottom of this circle, just a little bit. And I'm going to place that right there. Okay, just going to hold it for a second or two, just so I know it's in place. And we'll take this one, just a little bit at the bottom, and then hold that in place. Okay. Oop, let's put a little bit more on. I didn't want to stay sticking. You do have to give that a little bit of time to dry because it's on that glitter paper. But what I need to do is I actually need to flip this over so I can get going for you. I'm going to cut off, where's my snips? Sorry. Well, I can leave that whole. So this side's going to go over here. And this one is going to be, I'm just going to cut off the circle right there. This one's going to be right on his back. So what I'd like to do is put this on here. I'm going to lift my snowman. That's so not what I wanted to do. Okay, well now I got it all over my fingers. Now it should be nice and sticky. All right. I'm going to put my little arm out. I just want to hide a lot of that flag. If I wanted to, I could trim that off as well. So we're just going to have a short little arm over here because that is going to be right here. All right. I do need his other arm tucked in behind him as well. So we'll just put a little bit of liquid glue there. Not quite that much. Now I like the liquid glue for this project because this way, if I don't have the arm exactly where I want it, I have the ability to move it a little bit while it's still setting. And we're going to be placing our little male right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, bring this back in. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. I wasn't going to use dimensionals at first, but I think for the sake of the video, I just need to get that adhered better. So we're going to go ahead and add dimensionals. I don't want to wait for the glue to dry. All right. So now I got my little snowman. I'm putting him right here. Oh, he's just looking so cute. I have him at a little bit of an angle because it looks like he's looking up at the mailbox. We'll go ahead and add a dimensional as well to our little envelope here. Looks like you just put it wherever you want to put it. All right, there we go. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we're going to take our sentiment. I'm pulling in the Greetings from the Season sentiment, and I'm just going to grab a strip of basic white. I'm going to put it right across the top there, and you just need to grab that out. So we'll just grab a little strip here. I'm sure I have lots of strips. Let's just grab that. Okay. So we'll take this out and we're going to stamp. I I think we're just going to stamp Mary just across the top. Or no, actually For You would be really cute. We'll just stamp a little For You. And we'll punch it out with our circle punch. If I can see where For You is. For You, where are you? Here it is. So go ahead and bring my Misty Moonlight back in. I really just kind of wanted to tie everything together. Although, you know, red. Let's do red. I like to tie everything together, but you know, I want to kind of have it stand out a little bit and make it pop. So we'll use our real red. So I'm just going to put it in the center of my little piece of paper here. Clean that in a second here. Got my little cleaner. I like to clean when I stamp with red for the first time on my stamp. I like to get that cleaned right away. That way it doesn't stain as much. Now you can either use a punch or you can use the die that comes in the package here. Let's see. It kind of cuts it off with too much. All right. We're just going to go with our punch. So I have my old school 1/4 inch punch here. Just going to slide that in. Just kind of center it. Not quite getting it where I want. It's like stuck on something. There we go. All right. And we can put maybe For You right there. I'm not going to pop that up. I'm just going to put seal on it right there in the corner. Okay, now there's a couple different ways that you can do your little eyeballs. So you can take a piece of scrap basic black, pull out a little 1/4 inch punch, or I mean an 1/8 inch punch, and punch out your eyes. So I'll just grab a little piece here. I'm sure I have a little tiny strip. So I can punch out my eyes and my buttons. One. Now with this particular one, it's going to keep it all in that little tray. So I'm going to have to empty out that little tray in a second here. But what a great way to use your pieces. All right. So let's empty out that. Oh my goodness, I had quite a bit in there. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to repunch those because that's way too much to deal with. All right. All right. Come on, 4. Thought I did 4. All right, we'll just do one more. Okay, so now you could, let's grab our take a pick tool. You could take your little eyeball and just use your liquid glue. All right. And just glue those down. Come on. And glue it down that way. Then take a scrap of, this happens to be the peach pie, and I'm just going to take a tiny little corner, just like that. If I have too much of it, I can cut down that nose. I'm going to put it right here, and put his little nose right there. And there we go. That would be our card. Now, the other alternative that you can do with this is, I do happen to have another little circle here. You can take your pearlized enamel effects. Now this happens to be the black one. I need a scrap of paper here, so I'm just going to squeeze that out. Okay. All right. Now with this, you don't want to have that wisp there, so you kind of want to, it's okay to have a little bit of it, but if it's really standing tall, it might not go flat. This is actually really coming out really thick. All right. So just play around with it a little bit. You can add that on. So we'll go ahead and add our eyeballs on. Okay. And let that dry. You'll have to put it aside so you don't touch it. And that will level out. Those little wisps won't be there. And so you can let that dry. So just another thing that you can do. I do kind of like how that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere all that on. So we'll just kind of wipe it off a little bit. I love that the glitter on my shimmer paper doesn't come off on my hands. All right, I'm going to take my detail glue here and grab this. And I'm just putting a little dab of dew. There's a glue boogie right there, sorry. Okay. So I'm just squeezing some little drops in there. I'll come in. You can always use some sort of embellishment as well. I just didn't have a particular embellishment to use. All right. So when you're doing this, you will have to, like, if you're using your Take-A-Pick tool, you definitely have to kind of push it off your Take-A-Pick tool. All right, so there's my eyes. There's my little carrot nose. Now, I just thought of something else too. So if I happen to have these right here, and this is from the Opal Rounds. This is from that Citrus Suite. I think those will make some fun buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. I'm just going to use the small ones here. So 1, 2, and 3. So 3 little buttons. All right. Now, I wanted to see what this would look like. So I'm taking these. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Okay. Oh, now it's stuck on there. I was hoping that the, oh, God, no, I got that one stuck on my finger. I was hoping that the black would show through that clear, and it really doesn't show through all that much. So I guess that won't work. All right. But you know what? I could just add those right to the front of my card. We'll just add some little sprinkles around here. And one over here. And we'll add another one over here. Okay. So just some extra embellishments. Okay, so that is today's cute little card using our Greetings of the Season and our Sending Love stamp sets. I hope you enjoyed today's little lunch break. We'll see you all later, and we'll be back to our normally resuming schedule. Christmas in July ends today, so I may pop in some other pictures of cards, but I won't be doing any Christmas cards again, probably until September. I want to do a little bit more summer to enjoy it. Also, don't forget, today is the last day of bonus days, and bonus days is where Stampin' Up! Is going to give you a $5 coupon to use in August for every $50 that you purchase. So hop over to my online store, place your purchases, get your coupons so that you can get some really fun things starting next month. All right, take care.